Hello everyone, I'm Sudeepthi Dondapati. So we are going to look at another session which is going to be on this verbal MCQs only, right? So now what is the theme of our session? That is TCS NQT, National Qualifier Test. Hope you are with me all these days, and definitely you will be able to get reminded once again, if you can really sit along with us for these sessions. So hope you understood the concept very clearly. That is like for your NCQ, for your TCS NQT test, National Qualifier Test, you will have to go through two phases. Number one is foundational, that is basic, that is all about your basic knowledge, and the second one is advanced level, right? And verbal ability is what we are discussing now, English. So verbal ability will be part of your foundational phase, right? Now, so in the previous session, we discussed multiple questions, multiple type questions, which are of all like error detection, sentence completion, like many different concepts are included. For every verbal ability exam, all these are included. So in the last session, we saw some of these questions, and now we are going to continue with the same questions, but the type of questions are same, but the questions are different. Let us continue with the previous session. We'll continue with the previous session. So this will be part 2, verbal ability. Now, we saw to that we try to identify or diagnose the error in the question. And now we are trying to look at the same type of question, but a different question theme and so on, right? So now what is this question? Though the elephant, because of its size, appears to be a rather slow animal, it can be in fact run faster than any other man. Now, you have to identify the error. Now, there is no instruction here, but then the question shows that you have to identify. Why? Because the options are given very neatly arranged for you. Now, looking at the question, you can understand what is that you have to do. Though there is no clear, transparent, or the instruction is apparent. Though the elephant, because of its size, appears to be a rather slow animal, it can, in fact, run faster than any other man. Now, options given A, B, C, D, and E, no error. Now, what is wrong there? Is it completely grammatically accurate, or it is completely grammatically inaccurate? Though the elephant, because of its size, appears to be a rather slow animal. So the meaning is conveyed there. It appears to be a rather slow animal. It can in fact run faster. Is it? It can run faster than. A comparison is made here. Than what? Any other man. So now the whole question is completely sensible and it is very understood. Now, what is wrong there? Is there any? No. If you can really take a closer look at the word, every word you can see there is no problem with any comparison, and also with animal, because of its size appears to be all that, everything is there. But the problem is it can in fact run faster than any other man. You can fast. Now here you cannot say faster than any other man. So here neutrality is very important. You cannot be any gender. It should not be a gender specific question. So any other man, any other woman, it is not allowed. Rather, you should sound very neutral. So if you have to sound neutral, what is that you have to do? You have to say any other person or any other human being. So it is so simple as it is. Instead of saying any other man or any other woman, you can say that any other human being. So see, now it is very tricky. There is no grammatical error. Now, but what is the problem here? It is all about the choice of words. So if that is related to this choice of words, then it is nothing but synonyms related. So what is that is tested here? Your vocabulary is tested there. So if you have better vocabulary, then obviously you would know what is neutral, what is not neutral, what is completely gender specific. So you'll understand it, you will decide on it, and you will select on that. So good that you have really you have really done quite a few questions on vocabulary in your previous classes. Now this is how you have to do. Sometimes not only that you should look at grammatical part, but you should also look at vocabulary part, right? So now the answer is any other man. Now what is problem here? C, option C. So now you don't sometimes here see option D. What is that option D? No, here the question itself is error. It is completely errorful sentence. Wow, options are wrong, but then question is right. But it can in fact run faster than any other man. So it's supposed to be the C. Option C is the right answer. But now you don't even option E is eliminated. So option D is incomplete. Sometimes question may be like that. But then the right answer, what you can do is you can mention that is any other man hyphen and any other human being. So what is wrong? Any other man. But here it's supposed to be option D, but it is given option C. So you can mention the word clearly and you can write the right word. So any other, instead of using any other man, you can use any other human. It is just related to any choice, related to a choice of a particular word. Next question. You can get all the information that you want in this book. Actually, the questions we are dealing, appeared in the previous papers. So sometimes questions will be wrong, and sometimes you will have to, clearly mention what is the right answer. Like in the previous question, we saw the question that was asked in the earlier exam, the options were missing. So in that case, what do? You will mention the complete answer so that you won't be wrong. Even if the option A, B, C, D is wrong, then the examiner will understand the person knows the answer, and that is why he wrote in full form. So the full question or full answer. Next, 14th question. You can get all the information that you want in this book. A, you can get. B, all the information that you want in this. C, book. D, no error. E, here the options are right. It is clean, as very meaningful. You can get all the information that you want in this book. Is A, B, C, D. So what is wrong there? Do you really find any mistake, or do you find any problem here? You can get all the information that you want in this book. It is sensible. What all you want, all the information that you want in this book, you can get it. So the meaning is very simple. You can get all the information. So no error. So is it true? No. If you can really look at it, there is something that you can really do it. Just to take a second to examine the question and then try to think of the answers. You can get all, yes, we do say all the information that you want in this book. That you want. So what is problem? You can remove that. You can be very simple and clear. You can get all the information you want in this book. You can get all the information you want in this book. And that is unnecessary here. So why is it unnecessary? You should know that it is when that is used when it is explaining or it is referring to the previous part. When it is referring to the previous part, you can say it says that the book talks of the writer says that it is like it is kind of like explanation. You are explaining the previous part or referring to the previous part. So in that sense, you will use this that or this, that kind of word. But then here in this context, you don't have to use it. You can eliminate it. You can get all the information you want in this book will be very error-free sentence. Now, what is wrong here? That is unnecessary. So obviously, explanation. It should be all the information that you want, right? And all that is in this book. all the information that you want in this book. So the B part, or the part which is named after B, is wrong there. That has that. 15th question. It is evident that banking sector has underwent tremendous changes during the past 2 decades. It is evident. What is evident? That banking sector has underwent tremendous, oh, is it? Changes so much, so much actually, and or maybe a drastic change, or it is very evidential change, or which is very crucial. So tremendous change during the past 2 decades. So what is wrong here? If you examine the question very closely, you'll understand it. Every word, yes, you have to scrutinize every word in English, because sometimes the mistake will be in the sentence, sometimes the mistake will be with the word, like we saw in the previous question. The mistake is like, it is not a mistake actually. It is a better choice. It is, vocabulary related, so it is nothing related to grammar. In the same way, you have to see each and every question with these perspectives. The question may have some problem with the vocabulary, or the question may have some problem with grammar, all that. Right. Now, the banking sector has underwent. Now, if you do know V1, V2, V3, what is V3 word? Go, went. Right. Is that true? Or what is that you really say that? Undergone, V3 word. You have to say, it is evident that banking sector has undergone. This V3 form you have to use is not undergone, has undergone. Okay, tremendous changes during the past decades. So the V3 form will be undergone, not underwent. So it should be like it has undergone. Next, we'll move on with another question. Nobody can give the other inner peace at the same time. It is only one's own thoughts that can rob them of their inner peace. No error. So A, B, C, D, E as usual. Nobody can give the other inner peace. At the same time, it is only one's own thoughts that can rob them of their inner peace. So what's wrong here? Yes, that is true that nobody can gift the other person, or inner peace. You can't gift inner peace. At the same time, it is only one's own thought that can rob them of their inner peace. So if you can really examine the question closely, you will understand what's wrong there. Now, it is only once. ONES is not plural. Here it is. You have to use it in possession. It is a possessive case. How? Once it belongs to someone. Once, to someone. So that is a possessive case. And where do you use apostrophe? You should know that how to use apostrophe. You should use apostrophe into context. Like number 1 is in possessive case. Number 2 is in contracted forms. When you are using contracted forms, definitely you will use apostrophe. And the other one is in possessive. Like it is so and so Raju's notebook and Radha's pen. Possessive. It belongs. Or pen belongs to her. It is her book, possession. So she possesses that. So in that context, you use this apostrophe. Now, so you have to place apostrophe there. One's own thought, it's somebody's. Okay. So that is the mistake, and that will be the right answer. Next, Mr. Sethi was not given a promotion because he is frequent absent. He is frequent absent. Mr. Sethi was not given promotion, obviously, because he is frequent absent. So the tense, generally, the first one shows that it is past, and it shows that it is regular and it is in present tense. And now what is so wrong there? You have to find out the error. So now frequent absent, what do you say? You have to say he's frequently absent. So frequently adverb, and why? So Why is that you have to use adverb now? Now this is the question. When do you use adverbs? Why will you use? Remember the sense of this adverb. You will use adverb ly frequently, or any type of adverb. In general, you use it when you are adding more to it. Like you're talking how it is. Oh, she's done very slowly. Like you say it's very slow, but slowly, like you're intensifying it, and you are talking how it has happened. How it has happened. She's going, and how is she going? Very slowly. You're talking, you're describing about her walk. You're describing how she's walking. So what is it? Is you're talking about something, how it has happened. So adverb always talks about how it is done, and to what extent it's done. So the frequency of it and the intensity of it. So now that is why you have to use he's frequently absent. It is not he is frequent absent. Right. That will be the answer. D. Explanation. D. Next question. If all things go according to plan, then we see ourselves becoming a publicly listed company in 2 to 3 years. If all things go according to plan, then we see ourselves becoming a publicly listed company in 2 to 3 years. Now, why is it? What is the sense of it? If all things are working according to plan, then what's the problem? Then we see ourselves becoming a publicly listed company in 2-3 years. Oh, it is talking about the grandeur, or it is the efficiency, and it is all bombastic quality, or it is like it is showing the overall name and fame of that company. But then where is no, ma'am? It is problematic. It is problem free sentence. No, if you can really see, observe, take a look at it closely. If all things go according to plan, then we see ourselves, we, plural, subject, ourselves. It should be again in plural. Ourselves, selves. Okay, it is not you yourself. Okay, third person. It's not singular, but here you can see it is plural. We, ourselves. So it should be, even the tense should be plural. You can see what is the plurality, or what is the state of this word. It should be in plural because the subject is plural there. If all things go according to plan, then we see ourselves also. Okay, because we, subject is plural there. Next question. In spite of so many hardships, Amar has managed to success. In spite of so many hardships, Amar has managed to success. Now, what is wrong with the question? In spite of so many hardships. Now, you have to understand that the sentence is all right, but then you can use another alternative. Why? Usually, in spite and despite, both are used simultaneously and in a similar way, but despite is a little formal, just like on and upon. It is just the matter of difference is formality, right? In spite of so many hardships, sententially it is right, structurally it is right, but then the question is like, despite so many hardships, you can really start with the word despite. Generally, when do we use despite? We use despite when we are talking about anything in general. You despite will be in the beginning, and you can talk, and it will continue with noun, hardships, or problems, or you can really talk about anything. So, and it is a little formal. Despite her effort, she did not get her first rank. In spite of doing something, usually we use it like when we are using it in continuous sense. So here it is not continuous sense, and not only in continuous sense we do use in spite, but in the similar context also we use. But then if there is no error, and if you want to make it a little more formal, you can use this. Despite so many hardships, Amar has managed to success. Next question. The ongoing merger among the two companies will have an adverse impact on consumers. The ongoing merger among the two companies will have an adverse impact on consumers. Now look at the question. The ongoing merger among the two companies. What is that? Among two. Two is number, two parties. Okay, and have an adverse, true, that have an adverse impact on consumers. That is true. Now, what is this type of question here? The question is again is sentential error, and that you are sentence completion, sentence improvement, error identification. So these three things are there. Earlier in the previous question, we saw synonym related vocabulary. This is again sentence completion and sentence error identification. So both are there actually very much present. Now the question, the ongoing merger among the two companies will have an adverse. Generally, when do you use among? You should be able to understand. Among, actually we had a similar question earlier also. Among is used in the context where there are more than two parties. Between two people, two persons, between two parties. Among, more than two. So more than two, plural, you have to use among, not between. Now here what is sense? Here among the two companies, then it will be between, not among. So it is very simple. So you have to replace among with between. Next, question number 21. An Indian ship laden with merchandise got drowned in the Pacific Ocean. No error. Now what is wrong? An Indian ship laden with merchandise got drowned in the Pacific Ocean. Now, again, this question, I'll give you a clue. This is, as you said, there's no problem with this one grammar, and there is more beyond it. And what is wrong there? The question is like it is related to vocabulary. An Indian ship is laden with merchandise, burdened with, got drowned in the Pacific Ocean. So what is wrong? Vocabulary. What is the word that should be changed, or that should be identified as error? Drowned. Why is it like you usually hear the word, you can associate it drowning with ships or water. It is related. It's like someone going inside. But what is wrong here? Then you're supposed to say, okay, it's a thing inanimate, and you use sank in the Pacific Ocean. Usually you use drowning when a person dies of suffocation without enough air, or without any kind of that he's not able to breathe, so he literally dies of suffocation, or he just slips into water. Whereas sinking is something just moving, descending. Okay, so it goes inside. So you do not use ship drowning in the Pacific Ocean, but it sank in the Pacific Ocean. So that is the that is a change in meaning. So you have to be very careful at every word, as I told you. Pay closer attention to every word. Question number 22. The university has received about 500 applicants for the course. Out of them, 50 will be shortlisted for the program. The university has received about 500 applicants for the course. Out of them, 50 will be shortlisted for the program. Now, what is wrong? University has received, as usual, about 500 applicants and who applied for the course. Out of them, 50 will be shortlisted for the program. When you are talking about this, that you are talking or giving any statement or giving any information, you have to use some relative words which shows a relationship, or which should be used when you are relating it to the previous part. Now what is it? Out of them, 50 will be. You have to say out of which, okay, I will be shortlisted for the program. Out of 50 is written here. Out of them 50, out of which 50 will be shortlisted for the program. When you are referring to the previous part, when you are explaining them, you have to use this word which, out of which 50 will be shortlisted for the program. So you have to replace them. You don't say out of carry a course out of them. Them you usually don't refer to any personal way of addressing, but you do not relate it to any person, or them is very personal, and when you talk about people and other you can use it. But this is generally about applicant, just applicants, though they are people here, but you get out of them 50 looks very right, but it is out of which 50 will be is the general way of referring to the idea or any concept. So that will be the answer. Next, the cost relationship between banks and big companies can be end only when there is real competition in the sector. The cost relationship between banks and big companies can be end only when there is a real competition in the sector. So what is that? No error. What is that? You have to understand. The cost relationship between banks and big companies can be, here you have to use this past tense inflection, inflected end. It is ended. Okay, you have to use it. It ended. It cannot be in that. When you use this past structure, usually you say she has decided. Okay, he has completed. You don't say he has decided, or he has to decide is there, but he has decided is grammatically wrong. So in the past you have to say it can be ended only when there is a real competition in the sector. So you have to replace end with, so the inflection ed, okay, suffix will be added to it. The company has announced a bonus for all employees who achieve their sales targets. Now, the company has announced what? A bonus. That is not wrong. For all employees who achieve their. Now, see, though the company is singular, has announced a bonus for all. Here, you understand the object or the participants about whom the subject is about is in plural, and all is plural, and employee is again singular thing. So you cannot use you can give all flower to the, you can say all flower, you won't say all flowers, you say. Okay, it has to be in plural form. So bonus for all employees plural who achieve their sales targets. So you have to be careful. B is the problematic one. Replace employee with employees. Next, he has been assigned with that team because he is well qualified and experienced. He has been assigned with that team because he is well qualified and experienced. Now what is wrong? He's been assigned with the team. Assigned is been assigned with something. What is that? Is that the sense, or is being assigned with that team because he is well qualified and experienced? So you have to say he's been assigned to particular thing, or to particular party. He has been assigned of what? Allotted to do something. Assigned, he has been given actually to that particular team. He has been assigned to the team, but not with him. He's assigned with some work, but they are not assigned with that team. They're assigned to that. It's a mission. It's related to work. No, so he's been assigned. It is appointment. He's appointed to be something. Though you have to use the preposition to, not with. So it is grammatically incorrect if you use it. Inappropriate use of preposition. Next question. The cashier cannot give no explanation for the money that is missing. No error. The cashier cannot give no explanation for the money that is missing. So how do you say? The cashier cannot give any explanation, or the cashier cannot give no explanation. You don't say he cannot give no explanation. You have to replace it with the any. Why? Any is like at least slightest extent, to some extent. So that is the sense of any. So you have to use that any, but not no explanation. So that will be appropriate. Next, 3 Indian, 2 women and 1 man were among the shortlisted 100 applicants whom were chosen for the one-way trip to Mars under one mission. So what is wrong here? 3 Indian, 2 women, and 1 man were among the shortlisted 100 applicants whom were chosen for one-way trip to Mars under one mission. So now what is wrong? So these 3 Indians, 2 women, now you can see were among the shortlisted candidates or applicants who were, you do not use who is the subject, whom is the object. Generally, when do you use who and whom generally is the object, but then subject is what about whom the concept is about. So it will be the subject. Okay, I will now invite my friend who achieved something. Say, so we are talking about that person. So it is completely subjective. We do not don't try to use it in any objective sense. So that is like who were chosen for one-way trip to Mars under one mission. Okay, so that is a sense of it. Next. Fasting not only detoxifies the system, but gives also a personal training in endurance, a spirit of acceptance and self-control. No error. Fasting not only detoxifies the system, but gives also a person training in endurance, a spirit of acceptance and self-control. Now, what is wrong there? Fasting not only detoxifies the system, but gives also personal training in endurance. Yes, here you find some error, some kind of error. What is that? Fasting not only detoxifies, it separates some kind of toxins, but it cleans, detox. It not only detoxify, it will not only detoxify, that it cleans or keep it fresh system, but also gives a person training. But gives also what? Gives also means gives. Also, it's not about just personal training, but also gives. Giving is part of a person training. So you cannot separate gives and person training. So you have to bring also first and in the order, and gives will be, because she does singing, also dancing should be additional. This is additional thing. It's an additional thing. So you don't gives also a personal training, no, the system, but also gives a personal training. So that should be the order. You have to replace also with also gives. Gives also with also gives. Now, the last question for this session. We will see it and then we will observe and understand the rest of the questions in another session. So before we wind up this session, we will see the question. The possibilities of life and the realization that it's a short journey. The possibilities of life and the realization that it is a short journey. Or how do you say? Make me wants to see, do and make the best of the time I have in the world. Makes me want to see, make me wanted to see, made me wants to see, make me wanted to see, and no correction involved. No correction required. So now how do you have to see? The possibilities of life and the realization that it is a short journey makes me want to see, or make me wants to see. It is okay. First person singular. I want to do it. So first person singular. How do you have to use it? Make me wants to see and make the best of the time I have in the world, or the possibilities of life. Here you are referring to the third person. Possibilities of life. Okay, makes me want first person singular, want to see, wants to see, like she wants to see, we say, but I want to say first person singular, I want to do it. Okay, first person plural, they want to do something. So third person singular, you can say she wants to see, but then and then they want to see, third person singular. Okay, and then second person, I, you, he or she, third person. So you don't say she want to see. You say she wants to see, and I want to see, and they want to see. Okay, so she wants to see. So in the similar first person singular, say I want to see. So the possibilities of life and the realization that it is a short journey makes me want to see. So that will be the right sense, right? A, B, C, D, E, F. The right answer is makes me wants to see. Okay, makes me want to see is wrong. Okay, Make me wants to see is wrong. You have to replace it with makes me want to do something, or it makes me want to see something. You have to replace it with makes me want to see. So the wrong is makes me wants to see. So the option B here is the right answer. You have to makes me want to see. So you hope you have understood the concept, and we will finish this session with this question. The company's new project cannot be launched unless the approval of the board. The company's new project cannot be launched unless the approval. What is it? There is some problem here. The company's new project cannot be launched. That is very clear. Unless the approval, what is the sense of it? When do we use unless? Unless is again except if. That is the sense. But what is the right word? It cannot be launched till the approval, up to that time particular. That is the sense. Till the approval of the board. That should be the sense. So you have to replace unless with till. So these are some questions we can really practice very effectively for your NQT, TCS, and these are similar questions. So maybe the subject will be different, and sometimes they may ask you the same questions. But then if you understand the type of question and how you have to answer, so generally the pattern will be the same. You have to understand the error will be sometimes in vocabulary. The error will be sometimes in the sentence, grammar, articles, prepositions. Just like we saw, inappropriate use of prepositions, right? Instead of saying like assigned to that time, assigned with is used, which is wrong. So you can be very clear with all these things. Keep practicing all prepositions, articles, sentence, error identification. You have n number of questions, when you search your previous question papers. And some of these questions were given in, earlier exam, and definitely these will help you understand model of the question. Hope we will continue with the next session with some more questions. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.